My name is Mr. David Ochino, and in this chapter one, we are going to look at introduction to computer. Computer. A computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory that can accept data in bracket input, process the data according to specified rules, produce information which is as output, and store the information for future use. Functionalities of a computer. Any digital computer carries out five functions in gross terms. That is, takes data as input, stores the data stroke instruction in its memory and uses them when required, process the data and converts it into useful information, generates the output, and it controls all the above four steps. As you can see in the picture below, we have data being processed to give us information. Computer components. Any kind of a computer consists of hardware and software. Let us start with the hardware. Computer hardware is the collection of physical elements that constitutes a computer system. Computer hardware refers to the physical parts or components of a computer such as monitor, mouse and keyboard, computer data storage, hard drive or other HDD, system unit in bracket graphic cards, sound cards, memory, motherboard and chips, etc., all of which are physical objects that can be touched. As you can see in the picture below, we have a complete computer, example of a computer components where we have monitor, we have modem, we have system unit, we have mouse, we have speaker, we have printer, and finally keyboard. Then let us look at input devices. The input device is any peripheral in bracket a piece of computer hardware equipment to provide data and control signals to an information processing system, such as a computer or other information appliance. Input device translate data from a form that humans understand to one that the computer can work with. The most common are keyboard and mouse. Examples of manual input devices. We have keyboard, numeric keypad, pointing device, remote control, joystick, touch screen, scanner, graphics tablet, microphone, digital camera, webcam, and finally, light pens. Let us also see the example of input devices. Continuation. We have keyboard, we have mouse, we have microphone, touch screen, scanners, webcam, touchpads, MIDI keyboard, graphic tablets, cameras, pen input, video capture hardware, microphone, trackballs, barcode reader, digital camera, joystick, gamepad, electronic whiteboard. Note that the most common used keyboard is the QWERTY keyboard. Generally, standard keyboard has 104 keys. Now let us look at the central processing unit, or rather CPU. A CPU is a brain of a computer. It is responsible for all functions and processes. Regarding computer power, the CPU is the most important element of a computer system. The CPU is comprised of three main parts. Number one, arithmetic logical unit, ALU. It executes all arithmetic and logical operations. Arithmetic calculation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Logical operations like comparing numbers, letters, or special characters. Then number 2, we have control unit, CU. It controls and coordinates computer components. Read the code for the next instruction to be executed. Increment the program counter so it points to the next instruction. Read whatever data the instruction requires from cells in memory. Provide the necessary data to an arithmetic logical unit or register. The instruction requires an LAU or special hardware to complete. Instruct the hardware to perform the requested operation. And finally, we have the registers, which stores data that is to be executed next. Very fast storage area. Primary memory. Let us look at the primary memory, or rather RAM. RAM is random access memory. Random access memory is a memory scheme within the computer system responsible for storing data on a temporary basis so that it can be promptly accessed by the process as and when needed. It is volatile in nature, which means the data will be erased once the supply to the storage device is turned off. RAM stores data randomly, and the processor accesses this data randomly from the RAM storage. RAM is considered random access because you can access any memory cell directly if you know the row and column that intersect at that cell. Now let us look at ROM, read-only memory. ROM is a permanent form of storage. ROM stays active regardless of whether the power supply to it is turned on or off. ROM devices do not allow data stored on them to be modified. Now let us look at the secondary memory. They store data and programs permanently. It's retained after the power is turned off. Hard drive, HD. A hard disk is a part of unit, often called as a disk drive, or hard drive, or hard disk drive, that stores and provides relatively quick access to large amounts of data on an electromagnetically charged surface or set of surfaces. Number 2, we have optical disk. An optical disk drive is a disk drive that uses laser light as part of the process of reading or writing data to or from optical disks. Some drives can only read from disk, but recent drives are commonly both readers and recorders, also called burners or writers. Compact disc, DVDs, and Blu-ray discs are commonly types of optical media that can be read and recorded by such drives. The optical drive is the generic name. Drives are usually described as CD, DVD, or Blu-ray, followed by drive, writer, etc. There are 3 main types of optical media, that is CD, DVD, and Blu-ray disc. CDs can store up to 700 megabytes of data, and DVDs can store up to 8.4 GB of data. Blu-ray discs, which are the newest type of optical media, can store up to 50 GB of data. This storage capacity is a clear advantage over the floppy disk storage media, magnetic media, which only has a capacity of 1.44 megabytes. Let's proceed. I think that's the end of our presentation, and we will look at the software in our next presentation. Thank you. and have a wonderful time.